Welcome back to the channel, and thank you for stopping by. Today I'm doing my favorite fall time activity. I'm out here trolling for striped bass, and I think I'm going to take this opportunity to try to answer the #1 question that I get on my channel, and that's, how do I know how deep my lures are getting? So stick with me. So what do I do whenever I'm trying to figure out how deep I can get a lure? The first thing I do is I look at what the manufacturer's spec is. It says this lure can get down to 1 meter, 3 feet, whatever it is, whether it's a shallow diver, mid diver, or deep diver. After that, I don't really have any real information about how they got it that deep. How fast were they going, and what was the diameter of the line that was attached to the lure? I don't know. And those things are very important. So I have my own sample set. I use 12-pound braid on my line, which is a much thinner sort of wire than, let's say, 20-pound mono. I use 12-pound braid, and I also travel at roughly 3 miles an hour to see how deep I can get a lure. And I will move that lure in and out of shallows. So I'll take the lure, I'll cast it back, and I'll move it in and out of shallows until I see where it bumps the bottom. Then after that, I can reel in my line, and each reel has a retrieval rate. So the particular reel that I have, the Penn Slammer 3, 3500 series, it retrieves 37 inches per turn. So all I have to do is count the number of turns, that I can determine how far out I was whenever I was hitting the bottom. And I use my depth finder to see how deep I am. So really that's it. And as far as figuring out how much line I need to let out, so I have a standard cast for, let's say, a 1/2 ounce lure, and I get it easily over 50 feet. After that, I will let out line depending on how far I thought the cast was, and basically traveling at 3 miles an hour, every 4 seconds you're letting out 15 feet. And I can also double check myself. So when I'm reeling the lure back in, all I have to do is count the number of turns that I have, and I can figure out exactly how much line that I had out. So really that's what I'm doing. There are a lot of these lures that I've been using for several years, and I'm actually looking to see when I can get the lure to drag bottom. So that's really what I'm doing. It's not worrying about the manufacturer specification, because to me, they're only a general guideline to get you started. If you don't know how fast you're going, and if you don't know the diameter of the line, and we're talking about hard plastic lures, you're gonna have a hard time figuring out how deep you're gonna actually get a lure. So I actually hope that helps, and I guess I'm going to get back to my fishing here, and I don't know if I'm going to have a continued video and show you some of the fishing highlights that I have today, but I guess I'll get back with you. Well, right now the fish are down about 15 feet. I put myself on a deep diver, and as I usually do in the fall time, especially early in the fall season, and believe it or not, this is early in the fall season because the striped bass have not been hitting anything. They've been in the deep part of the bay. They've just started moving into the tributaries. The water has been way too warm. So what I like to do anytime I'm starting my striped bass season off is I want to try a soft plastic lure and a hard plastic jerkbait on either side of my kayak. And I do that to see kind of what the season's going to bring. Sometimes a particular style of lure is the one that does most of the business all season long. So I definitely like to start it out with a soft plastic and hard plastic. On this side, I've got a hard head jig head. It's a 3/4 ounce, and I have a gotcha 6-inch grub tail on the soft plastic on it. This side right here, I have a deep diver. It is a bomber. I think it's a 45A. I believe that's the one it is. It's a 3.5 inch. And I get this lure down to at least 15 feet. I can get it deeper than that if I want to, if I let out more line. So it actually is a small lure profile that can get me down pretty deep. And fall time fishing generally isn't deep fishing. Most of the time in fall time fishing, it's pretty much shallow, relatively shallow. You're in the upper 10 feet of water. But here recently, I've seen a lot of fish down 15 feet and a little bit further here in the early fall. So anyway, hopefully I'll be able to get on some fish today, and we'll see what happens. There we are. There it is. That is the bomber deep diver. Playing a dangerous game by not reeling in my other lure, and this is not a big fish. I'm reeling it in this easy. Not a big fish, but really for me, this is the first striped bass of the day. I was casting on some perch, got some perch, but that's not what I was out here for. So they're all about 15 feet down today, at least here this morning. And striped bass proving he's a striped bass. All right, well that guy tires himself out here for a millisecond. I'm gonna reel this other lure in before I lose it. All right, here we are. First fish of the morning. Little guy, little guy. Ooh, that's an unfortunate hook right there, buddy. You got an unfortunate hook. Treble hooks, man. Mo trebles, mo problems. Hooked him right around the eye there. Sorry, little guy, but I appreciate you. Thank you. There he is. All right. We'll get back at it. At least we know now that, I mean, I already knew they were down about 15 feet or so, and it looks like they're going to hit a lure at 15 feet, so we'll keep on trying. There we are. This one is a little bit better. All right, I'm going to have to keep tension on this line and try to reel this other line in really quick. All right, there we are. Now we can fight this fish. Let's turn around and see what this thing's all about. Let's get him this way. All right, so these fish are down about 15 feet today. Again, this is the second one that I've caught on a deep diver. And this this one's a little bit better. All right, let's see. Let's see, all right. Yeah. That's a much better fish. All right. There's a halfway decent fish right there. He's got a little fat little belly on him. Thank you, guy. Appreciate you. Oh, he's gone. All right, yeah. So that's 2 fish, and that's all deep diver today. So that's why I like to have the soft plastic lure, hard plastic lure, and today the deep diver's doing its business. I might actually try to put a Yo-Zuri deep diver on this side, and we're going to try the bomber deep diver on this side. We'll just see what happens. There's fish. There's a fish. Bomber deep diver. Our bomber Yo-Zuri. Bomber pulls in the fish. I'll tell you what I got to do. I've got to keep tension on this fish, and I've got to reel this. I got to reel this lure in. All right, here we go. Now we can fight her. So this is the 3rd fish that I've caught on the bomber deep diver. I got a hit on the Yo-Zuri, but it missed. And I'm not going to blame the lure for that because I don't have treble hooks on the back of that lure. I took them off, and every now and then you get a miss. But I had a pretty significant hit on it, so. Nice. Nice. Nice little fall time striped bass right here. And these hooks are not that great on this bomber. I actually changed out the front hook here. The front hook, I have 2 X hooks. On the back is just the one that came with it, but it's almost been out. But here we go. Fish number 3 on the bomber. I'll take it. That's nice. Let's see if the Yo-Zuri can catch up. I love Yo-Zuri so much, they should be catching me some fish, right? All right. Huh? All right.
Tangle idle line, and I can't tell if I'm wrapped up in torpedo somehow. I just don't know if I'm like in my rudder or what.
Did you get it out?
Yeah, I'm out.
All right, good. All right. You caught fish on this lure?
Yeah, I stuck on my first one. It was a 22 that I just kept. And then I got the 26 on the
bomber.
The bomber.
All right, got the Yo-Zuri deep diver. I'm gonna put it on this rod. We're gonna start trolling our way down. It's 3.5 inch, 90 millimeter. I can get that one down to 15 feet, but I gotta let out a lot more line. This bomber gets down significantly deep. Well, it just gets down deeper. Not significantly, but deeper. A lot of time whenever the sun comes up, I have a lot better luck with more natural colors when it comes to hard plastic lures. Soft plastic lures, white is king. I guess one thing I do notice is that the Yo-Zuri has a lot more vibration than the Bomber does, so I guess it would depend on whether you need more of a subtle presentation or not. The Bomber seems to be a little more subtle, whereas the Yo-Zuri has a little more vibration. There it is. That's Yo-Zuri. I think it. No, I got off. He got off. It's so surprising to me that this fall time, where we're at in the fall, that it's a deep diver day. I haven't had really any shallow bite fall fishing for striped bass yet. I've only had two real trips that have really been targeting hard for striped bass. The first one was pretty much a deep diver in the early part of the day, and then I caught a few fish on a soft plastic that was 6 feet down. But other than that, deep diver. There's fish. Bomber. Bomber. Bomber again. Did I lose him? Oh man, did I lose him? I think I lost him. I had to reel in though. I had no choice. Oh, there, no, he's on there. He's on there. He's on there. He was just running with me here. Oh, hooked him in the eye. I'm sorry, guy. Man, I would never have chosen to hook you in the eye, ever. That's a bad situation. Sorry about that, man. All right, there we go. We got him. Hopefully he'll be okay. All right, well, that was the Bomber with 4 fish. The Yo-Zuri deep diver really hasn't done anything compared to the Bomber today, so I'm gonna pop on 2 Bombers. I'm gonna see what the deal is.